A luxury developer from Bangalore asks a very interesting question. He says, what is the future of small real estate developers when large developers like Supertech are falling apart? I had a counter question. What is the benchmark of calling a real estate company big player? Is it just the sheer volume of the business? Had it been just the volume of the business, the Indian real estate market has been witness to the fall of a number of big players, right from Amrapali to DB Realty to now Supertech. Irony is that in most of the industries, the size and volume of the business is seen as being bigger in the segment. Real estate business is different. In real estate, bigger players are not necessarily those who are into volume game. Who are the bigger players? We do brand rating, and in Track to Realty Brand X report, we have seen over the years that the number one player, the best brand of the Indian real estate, has never been somebody who has the best of top line in the given fiscal year. As a matter of fact, some of the best brands are nowhere near top 2 3 fiscal performers of the year. Godrej Properties is probably the only exception which is closer to being the best seller of the year and yet emerging as the best brand. Most of the bigger brands are reasonably well balanced players. Getting into the details of business of Indian real estate, we have often noticed that we can separate or differentiate between bigger players and volume players. A number of volume players, be it Supertech or Gors in North India or any other large size developer in any other part of the country, is not necessarily the best of the brands. The best of the brands are having a reasonable fiscal performance, reasonable track record of delivery, but they are focused on their product quality. Indian real estate will always have this debate whether the large size developers, whether the volume players are the ones who are actually the bigger players. Recently, an international delegate asked me about one specific developer in Goa, Bennett and Bernard. Now they have a very limited geographical footprint only in Goa, doing quality work and still recognized worldwide. In real estate business, these are the kind of players who are bigger players and not necessarily those who are into volume game. We all have seen what has happened with some of the bigger players in the past. So what is happening today with Supertech is nothing new. Most of the reasonably well placed brands which are seen as bigger players are those who have a decent track record of delivery, a decent track record of financial performance, and a decent track record of consumer satisfaction. The only exception as far as the bigger players falling apart is probably the Unitech. Unitech was a respectable brand in its own time. It has fallen apart. The company collapsed due to some of their decision making mistakes. But to say that bigger brands are those who have volume game would be a misnomer in real estate. We, in course of our brand rating, we have realized it's much better to have a fiscal performance of say between 1500 crores to 2500 crores than to have a top line of 5000 crores and be witness to your buyers crying for delivery. Supertech has never been a bigger brand. It has always been a volume player, and a volume player is undoubtedly different from a bigger player in real estate.